got a new one on Blu-ray today called Subservience, starring Megan Fox. This thing come out last year. I believe it's streaming on Netflix right now, but if you want a physical copy of it, I believe this to be the only physical copy currently available, at least maybe to us here in Americana. Um, Millennium Media, XYZ Films. Funny thing about it is, it looks nice, but it is a BDR. And I know some of y'all get all sorts of tore up about a VDR, or a BDR, excuse me, but it looks fine as far as quality goes. Don't turn her on. Obviously, if you couldn't tell from that little bit of a description there or the tagline, she plays a robot in this movie, and you've got this guy whose wife is going through some trouble. She's having some heart problems. She's in the hospital, so he needs a little help at the home front. So he goes to get a robot. He's supposed to get a male robot. Like, this is a time period where the technology's got these basically these Sims, they call them, which are lifelike robots that help you around the house, and real fancy AI type artificial intelligence. And his little girl runs across the Megan Fox model and decides she wants that one, so he brings that one home. And at first everything's okay, but things are only okay for a little while, because pretty soon she starts adapting to the situation. And even though she isn't supposed to have feelings, she seems pretty attached to her owner, so she tries to please him in more ways than one, with the wife in the hospital. And when things start to turn around for the wife, uh, she decides to get a little bit jealous, and she also decides to get rid of anything that is bothering her main user, whether it be people or problems in general. And there is your plot of the movie, is basically he has to deal with a very hot Megan Fox in robot form, going hog wild, trying to eliminate problems for not just him, but her. And of course, it kind of taps a little bit into this world it gives us, where there's basically Sims taking over everything. They're taking over jobs, they're running restaurants, they're doctors, and it could probably, if there was a sequel, which I think the director had mentioned, that if he did a sequel, he wanted to do one that kind of branched out into the world and made it a bigger situation with a bigger picture. And I'd be all for that, which this thing um, could have legs to do a sequel. I personally think that you should probably just leave it where it is. I think it's really good. I give it a 3.5. I liked it a lot. If I had done a top 20 this year, I definitely could have found a spot on the top 20. Top 10 wise, even though I was kind of late seeing it, it does not knock anything out of the top 10. The director is S.K. Dale. Never heard of him before. May never hear of him again. But it's uh it's got sexual stuff going on in it. It ain't anything too crazy. You get to see Megan Fox in her underwear, and at her age, which she's like late 30s, still looks great. And she still manages to pull out, uh, probably for me, her best role since Jennifer's Body, which I always thought Megan Fox was hot, acting wise. I could just, take her or leave it, but I thought she was good in Jennifer's Body, and she was definitely good in this. So, if you are a fan of her, or a fan of the way she looks in general, and you want to see more Megan Fox, because we have not seen a lot of her lately, and I don't feel like we've seen a lot of her in the horror genre outside of Jennifer's Body in this. But if you do feel the need to check her out, then this is probably the movie you want to check her out in. Like I said before, it's on Netflix, so you can stream it if you want to do that. But if you do want to own a physical copy, and if you're watching this channel, you probably do, because that's kind of what we do. Unfortunately, it is a BDR, but overall, I've had no problems with any BDRs that I've gotten, so I think you'll be okay. And, it's not a bootleg, it is a real copy, so that's always a plus as well. Maybe it's Decale Entertainment. One of these three companies put this out, or maybe they all did in conjoined with each other. But no extras, as the dog is howling in the background. No extras, but a solid movie. So 3.5 out of 5.